Hi there. Are you tired of searching for job opportunities or just feeling really stuck in your career? Then stop scrolling because you just landed on the right page. KiawiTechIT Academy is a 100% online IT school that is designed to equip you with the skills that top Fortune companies are looking for. With core courses such as SQL database administration and cybersecurity, KiawiTech has trained and placed hundreds of students in top companies around the world. Believe it or not, the IT industry is booming and you can't afford to only be a spectator. So sign up today at www.KiawiTech.com and start the journey to your dream job.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us today at KiawiTechIT Academy live show. So I am Elvis Baber and I'm glad to welcome you all for this session of us introducing you or encouraging you to become an IT specialist with zero or no IT background, I should say. Happy weekend to you all from wherever you're watching live, or if you'll be watching this program later on. Thank you for being part of our chat or for being part of this our fireplace chat for all this while. We like to acknowledge those watching us now or those who will be watching us later or watching us via our social media platforms like YouTube or Facebook. We want to say thank you for your time and your attention to KiawiTech activities, and most especially for promoting us in your different ways. This far, we've had great sessions with Vandy, Beverly, Rita, and all amazing guests. So we want to say thank you for always tuning and being part of us. Today we'll be continuing in that same light. Also want to say today we are being joined by a guest whose journey to becoming a DBA you will not want to miss. But before, let us refresh our mind about what KiawiTech IT Academy is all about. At KiawiTech IT Academy, we are a corporate institution training database administrators and cloud specialists in the field of Microsoft SQL Server Database Administration Training, which is a 6 to 8 months course, Azure, which is a 5 months course as well. We do have AWS, which is a 6 to 8 months course as well. Cybersecurity, a 3 months course that is starting on the 24th of September, which is next week. Another thing we'd like to highlight is that we believe you've been seeing our flyers, our courses. We do have like Microsoft SQL Server Database Administration is going to start in October 4th. That's 2025. We do have Azure that will be starting in November 8th. We also have AWS that will be starting in October 4th. And like I already mentioned, cybersecurity training will be starting on the 24th of September. That is next week. And we want to encourage you that if you're yet to join or you have somebody who is interested in our training and wants to be part of us, please reach out through our different communication platforms, the numbers you've seen on your screen, and we'll easily help and then introduce you into the training and then help you prepare and get you ready for the training and see you through the training and, of course, see you into getting the job. I want to say thank you. Also, we do have IBM Guardium as one of our major courses. It's a 6 months course as well. We are getting ready to give you the details as far as that is concerned. We do not have a specific date for now, but we'll be communicating that in the days ahead. We also want to say we at KiawiTech IT Academy, we have everything into consideration. We know that going through the training is a hectic task, and then most especially looking for the job and then getting the job is also another job by itself. So that is why we have our sister organization, UpTech, which is there to help build and market your profile in such a way that you get the job in little or no time. Be encouraged to apply to any of our courses via the links that are being displayed on your screen right now, or those are flyers that you've been seeing. You can contact us and get details from us. So far, we have been assisting and updating prospective trainees via our pre-orientation sessions that have been for over 2 months now, holding every fortnight. We'll probably be having one next week, the 28th. So, or any other date, if there's a change, we'll let you know. But want to say thank you so much for joining us, and also would like to say this pre-session or this pre-orientation sessions will be concluded on the in our grand orientation that will be hosted by our CEO, Dr. Dennis, where the vision and every other grand aspect as far as our academy is concerned at the end. So those details will be communicated to us before we have them, or before the date, or time enough before that occasion. At this moment, I want to say thank you again for being part of us. Today, like we indicated earlier, we are having a special guest in the person of Clovis Sunday, who's been practicing as a database administrator for a good number of years now. I know we all want to know who Clovis is and how he became a database administrator without any IT background. Please help me welcome Clovis. Hi, Clovis. You're most welcome. We are glad to have you today in a call or in a fire chat. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Elvis. First, I would like to thank everyone for joining in today, taking out time out of your busy schedules. My name is Clovis, and I am an ex-student of KiawiTech. I wouldn't say ex-student like ex, as the word says, because
Absolutely.
KiawiTech is a family,
Yes.
and in KiawiTech, learning never stops. And now,
Absolutely.
going into my experience. Through KiawiTech, first I started with no IT, little to no IT background, and then I was doing these night shift jobs, which was really crazy. Working night shift is not easy, especially if
Can
you're
only but imagine.
yeah. So when I came across KiawiTech, someone told me about it. I was like, hey, what is this about? So I decided to check it out, and I started taking that training. You know, was it easy? No, I will not lie to you.
Absolutely.
It was not easy because nothing good comes easy, right?
Yes.
So you definitely have to put in the work. So I went through the entire 6 months training as a SQL database administrator, and then when I completed, just shortly after, with the great help from the KiawiTech family, and also with the effort that I put in, because you have to put in some effort too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that actually landed me a good job. So
Sure, we'll come to Louis. I bet you have a lot to share with us and
yes,
to encourage everybody as far as coming into an institution and then getting the right training and then learning the best jobs you should or you will ever imagine is concerned. So at this point, I like to just tell you, this session we just want to share, we just want to present ourselves how we all went through the process and how we've been able to excel. Like Clovis, myself, I did go through KiawiTech IT Academy and I'm a database administrator today, practicing with confidence and in the right place. Like Clovis, I want to say KiawiTech is the best decision you ever make, or you the best institution you ever come across. Because
absolutely,
one thing we pride ourselves in is that we are not just a corporate institution, we are a community. We are building a community. KiawiTech was founded on the principle that the IT world is not just meant for a specific category of persons like we used to imagine. Most of us, we used to look at IT as some kind of rocket science, something that we could never go close to, that it was meant for some different category of persons in the world. But today, Thanks to the vision of our CEO, Dr. Dennis Kiawi, we are able to see the IT as something practically everybody who is ready and committed, like Clovis said, can engage and be successful. So thank you so much, Clovis. I just want to come back to something probably you mentioned, but maybe this time around, I want us to really break it down for those who are still thinking of whether or not they should engage, or if at all this is something that is realistic, I should say. Tell us how you found KiawiTech, how your training through KiawiTech in any form has helped to make you remove that belief that you had before, that the IT world was for some other kind of person, or were for some persons that must have studied computer science, computer engineering, and all of those things.
Yes, thank you again once more. One thing I would like to tell everybody watching or that will watch this video later is
Absolutely.
that in Kiawi Tech, you don't need any IT background to join, right? You don't need
Absolutely.
any IT background to become a family of Kiawi Tech. Now, when I started, I had no background, and when I was told about Kiawi Tech, first I was a little, skeptical. I was like, yeah, nah, it's IT. So I'm not really an IT guy. I don't think I can do this. I had a lot of fear in me. But then the person that introduced me actually explained things to me in a way that I could understand better by
No.
letting me know that, they will teach me everything from step zero all the way to the top or to where I need to be. Okay.
Right.
So with zero IT background, I went in there and I was taught everything that I know today. And the teaching going into the learning process, that's another beautiful thing about it. It's you don't just get one instructor. That's
Yes.
the thing. When you have just one instructor, sometimes some people they get really tired, or maybe they don't understand the instructor better than
Yes.
they would if it was another person. So we have multiple instructors, and we also had revision sessions. We had instructors that would take out time and still come back,
Absolutely.
make sure that everybody was on the same page of the same book,
True.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
So that was really, really an inspiring factor that, when they told me first, I did not believe it. I said, no, I have to go and see this for myself, right? And
Yes.
it was really, really inspiring. And, that pushed me into, working harder into
Absolutely.
learning this SQL database administration and becoming what I am today, which is a SQL database administrator.
Thank you so much, Clovis. That's so, so, so encouraging to hear. And at KiawiTech, we want to say again, thank you for choosing KiawiTech. So now that brings us to something a little bit deeper as far as making a choice as to which institution you're going to trust, given that you had little or no IT background. Because I say this reassuring all of those of us watching and those of us hoping to be part of this IT war, and most especially being part of KiawiTech, is that all it takes for you to be at KiawiTech and to succeed is for you to be ready and to have this corporate exposure. Most of us listening or getting ready to be part of KiawiTech, we already have this exposure where we live in our houses in the morning, we get to somewhere, we sign in, we follow procedure, and so on. That all it takes for you to be qualified to go through our training. You have a high school certificate. That is all it takes. So in a combination of your high school certificate, your commitment, and the fact that you have that corporate exposure, all you needed is on the table for you to start, and the best time to do so is now. So I want to ask you, Clovis, when you made that decision of starting your IT career, why KiawiTech IT Academy? We do have a lot of other institutions out there. I know you've mentioned a lot about why KiawiTech, but I just want us again to be specific why you made that choice of KiawiTech. Was it because somebody you knew recommended you to KiawiTech, or because somehow you felt like KiawiTech was that place that was going to help you? I just wanted us to emphasize on that because in my own case, just so before you come in,
Okay,
I
thank
said
you very much.
KiawiTech is not just a corporate institution, it's just a community. I saw a lot of persons who were already belong to that community who were thriving as far as IT is concerned and as far as thriving from a zero IT background. That is what encouraged me. So what about you?
So, what actually encouraged me was the person that talked to me about KiawiTech.
Yes.
So when he first mentioned it to me, first I thought it was one of these IT schools online,
Mhm.
these boot camps. Then I dismissed it at first. Then he came back again,
Can
and
imagine.
you know, and talked about it. So I was like, okay, so this one that this guy is insisting, it means it has to be
Mhm.
something good.
Yes.
So I asked him a question that this this Kiawi Tech you claim is a community. Um, are you still connected to that community? He said, yeah. I said, okay, how? Show me. He pulled up his phone and
Okay.
opened the WhatsApp group, which is a community group, showing that he is still a member of that group. And he showed me live communications, live chats. This is somebody that graduated from Kiawi Tech about 3 to 4 years before I
Yes.
joined.
Good.
So I was like, oh, wow, this is interesting because I know with other boot camps, once you're done with the training, that's it. The most they can do
Absolutely.
for you is just draft out a resume and give you and just ship you out to the job market and say, go and search for a job yourself.
Whether you succeed or not
Yeah,
is not their
yeah,
business.
it's not their business. But this guy really told me that Kiawi Tech does not do that because they take you from start to finish, and
Good.
their goal is to see you succeed, not just to pour the information out to you. Is to
Mhm.
make sure you actually get that information because you know it's better to train 10 people. It's better to train 10 people, focus on those people, and
Yes.
have them grasp the skills you're giving out to them and make sure they all succeed.
Yes.
That's KiawiTech's goal. Make sure you succeed. Compared to other
Absolutely.
institutions, they would take people, 1,000, it doesn't matter. They just pour out those information and they force it down your throat. And then once the program is done, you're done. They've collected their monies and they are gone. You
Absolutely.
will stay out there. You have graduated. You've completed the program, yes. But do you have a job? No.
No.
You have to start fending for yourself. But that's not the thing with Kiawi Tech. You still remain part of the community, and any questions you have, you put it in the forum, and within the next few minutes, someone has answered those questions.
Uh,
And another beautiful thing is that even once you get a job, you know, nobody knows everything. You get a job, there are obviously challenges that you're going
yes.
to face because job environments are not the same,
Of course.
And once you have those challenges, you post them in the forum and somebody will answer the question. I guarantee you that. So I'm just, saying my experience with my friend who introduced me with Kiawi Tech. And
Yes.
then, he was not just saying that just to, encourage me to join. He was actually showing me the proof on his phone. So I was like, wow, okay, so this is serious. And that really, really inspired me. I was like, okay, yeah, I would like to belong to a community that, see you as you, and really see you as someone that matters. They don't just go after the money, they go after the people.
Thank
They
you so
make
much,
sure
Lovis.
that you succeed. So they take you to the end. And another thing again, KiawiTech, they have everything. They have all it takes. And there's just one thing that you need. It's the
Yes.
will. That's all you need. Once you have the will to do it, because I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be an easy journey, right? But once you
Good,
have
good.
that will to do it, KiawiTech will walk with you step by step
Thank you so much for emphasizing
until
on
you
that.
get to that point. Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lovis. You can't say that any less. And I would like to emphasize on that particular point by saying that how does KiawiTech operate as a community? As you probably are seeing on your screen now, you have our website through which you can apply. You have our contacts through which you can call and get assistance, and then you get into KiawiTech. Then you are introduced into an incoming community group where you have some persons who are yet to be decided whether they will be part of KiawiTech, maybe say for an October or an April session. They are still wondering. They need some assistance. They need somebody to guide them on what to do. That group, you have all those questions answered. Then you are now moved to a class group when you decide and you're committed that, okay, I'm very sure as to what I want to do now as far as the IT world is concerned. And I've made a choice to go with this course, be the database administrator, an Azure specialist, AWS cloud specialist, IBM Guardium, cybersecurity. So when you make that choice, we placed you on one group. Through that group, you're able to have details specifically as far as that is concerned. From that group, you graduate when you go through your training, and then we feel, because one thing, like I just want to also emphasize, Clovis already said, is that it's not a guarantee that when you come into an institution like ours, you automatically succeed. It's about your commitment. You need to be that kind of person who, wherein you come in, you get the required computer, the required documentation and everything. You come to class and we say, come on video to make sure that we are sure that you're consistently following us, the training. And then we say, not only are you part of the class, you are participating. You are called up to participate or to drive a particular process, and you do so. That is where you start. Then when you're done with your classwork, we now integrate you into our bootcamp, where we are able to orientate you on getting a job. We orientate you on getting the right resume. We orientate you on answering the questions. The most difficult questions you ever get as far as getting the job is concerned in these fields that we offer is through KiawiTech instructors, because one thing we pride ourselves is that we have instructors who are all practicing. So all that they're going to give you is what you're going to meet in a field. So you come out through our institution as somebody who's gone through not just a training, but who was into some kind of who was an intern or I think the better word for that should be somebody who was an apprentice. So you were practicing and then going through and then learning at the same time. So that's what gives you that leverage and that preparedness for you to be able to face the professional world and excel. So when you're done, like he explained with your bootcamp, you join the community. We have over 1,000 database administrators who are already practicing, or not just database administrator, all the other fields who are already practicing. You join them, and then, like he said, that becomes your community wherein you have questions not just related to your job, but you want somebody to encourage you on how to get a job. And then the other thing we do is that everybody in that community becomes your mentor, irrespective of the fact that in the process of you going through the bootcamp, you do get mentors who assist you in the process. So everybody wants us all to succeed. That's the good thing that we have in KiawiTech IT Academy, that we are encouraging everyone to come in and be part of us, because that is what is going to help you succeed. So going through that process of becoming a community member, you are reassured that you are in the right place and you get the right support and you get a job and you get the right support and every other aspect of you belonging to the community positively. So I want to say thank you, Clovis, for emphasizing on that. I just wanted to add that point. So the other thing I wanted us to talk about, Clovis, is your relationship with instructors or your classmates and how it helped you. Some of those processes that you had to undergo in the process of your training.
Well, thank you very, very much for that question.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and start with the instructors. So I will tell you the truth right now. You know, some students don't like instructors that, you know, call them out.
Yes.
You know, yeah. So I know one thing I noticed with KiawiTech is that they are not here to play around, right?
True.
They are not here to play around. They are here to work with those who are willing to work.
Absolutely.
Yes. So as I mentioned earlier, if you have that will, they will be there for you, right? So you get what you put in, and you have to be in it to win it. Now, going back to your question, working my experience with the instructors, it was very, very great. It was very great. It was a little hard from the beginning,
yes,
to be honest, because you know it was my first experience with the instructors, and you know when I got in, I had the mindset that, oh, they will pamper me, you know, I will, you know, misbehave, and you know
yes,
they will just look the other way. But then that was not the case, because you know KiawiTech is not here to play games. Yeah.
yes. If we must succeed, then we must take that level of commitment to the next level in a
Exactly.
competitive war like ours today.
Yeah. So they put me to order real quick, and you know I saw that, oh, this is serious. They are not here to play games, so I better get my act straight.
True.
And you know I decided to, you know, follow up. So when they say come on video, I will come on video. And the reasoning, what first I did not really understand why they were insisting that, you know, people need to come on video. And then one instructor made it clear to us that, you know, people will sign into class and just leave the class running, leave the instructor talking, and then they will go and start doing other things,
Yes.
you know, or they will maybe sit on their computer and decide to take a quick 10 minutes nap, you know. So I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes
Mhm.
sense. And yeah, it's good at least when you are on video. It gives the instructor the impression that, you know, you're actually following up with what they are teaching.
True.
And you know, if you have any questions, you know, it will be good to put a name to the face.
Yes.
You know, since we are a family, you don't want to have a family when you're
Yes.
only talking to somebody you know by name, but you cannot, there's no face to place the name to, you see. So
Exactly.
yeah, that was another very important thing that I understood about, you know, being on video. It's not just, you know, just so that he can see our faces. It's just that he should know who he's talking to. You know.
Absolutely. And I also want to emphasize by saying that it helps the instructors. One of the reasons why KiawiTech IT Academy instructors will ask you to come on video is to help you flee from distractions. Like you said, you might
Yeah.
be tempted to maybe keep your computer and just pick up something and then from one thing to the other. And the way sometimes some of those processes in the teaching class is that probably you have to click from one process to the next before you come back. They're already in the next one. By that approach, you'll be lost. So they want to make sure that we pull everybody together.
Together.
And the way you react, your facial appearance will tell the instructor whether or not you are catching up or the instructor needs to help you catch up. So that's one of the reasons we always emphasize on you coming on video. Then, just before you conclude, Clovis, on that aspect, when you go through the training, your interviews, whether let's say you're doing them online, you will do them on video. So that's where you start practicing. You will start working, maybe as a remote worker, you will do them on videos most of the time. Maybe not all the time, but most of the time will be on videos. So you have to start practicing. I do have a little story in that direction, but I guess when Clovis is done, we'll come back to it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
And now to move on to my experience with other students, and
Yes.
as I mentioned earlier, it's good to put a name to the face, because if you have classmates, it's good to know who they are and all of
Sure.
that. And we had students, I would say all over the world. We had in Canada, in Europe, even in Cameroon.
Yes.
So
and many other parts of Africa.
Many other parts of the world.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was really, really an interesting experience working, hand in hand with those students, because when we have like projects, we do have special meetings that we meet and then we talk, and those students, with the special training KiawiTech gave us, and made us to understand that this is serious business, and we all mean business, and this is a community.
Yes.
Don't just look at somebody as just a name or just a face. Treat that person like family.
True.
So when one person in my class had a problem, we had a special class forum that we created. We just post that problem on that forum, and we can hold an emergency meeting and discuss that problem, because that's what family do. We help each other out, and especially when we have projects, because I believe Mr. Elvis will talk more about that. That's one of the things KiawiTech will also, give us that feel of the corporate world.
True.
Yeah. So when working on those projects, it was not just a one man or lone wolf kind of thing.
Yes.
We all had to work together as a team, as a family, and that was really a great experience. And even outside of KiawiTech, we will call ourselves sometimes, just to chat. That's also called networking.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it was really, really a great experience, working with other students from other parts of the world.
Thank you so much, Lovis, for that. So, like I was saying earlier, and before I get to that, I want to say thank you, Martins, for joining us online. I see you're watching us from YouTube, and then we also have another Martin. We do have two Martin. The other one is Alenke Martin, who is also a KiawiTech IT Academy graduate. And then we have Say Martin, all the way from Cameroon, asking us about our program and the course and all of that. And like I said earlier, please just reach out to us on the contacts you see on screen for more details. We did mention the different courses that we offer, the details, the course, the duration. Please, if you need more details, just reach out to us through those contacts, and we'll be able to give you more than the details that you ask for, in such a way that you should be encouraged and ready to get into the training. So I wanted to share my own experience why at KiawiTech, and then one of the ways that it helped me change a perspective, which is something that a lot of us who have gone through other institutions, training, or probably our normal academic studies, we took them in a different form from what KiawiTech would do. Because one thing KiawiTech does is you are a professional. You are not a student. Being, for example, a database administrator training, going through university studies is a 3 years course. KiawiTech takes out the professional, just takes you, that's why we call it a hands-on training. So we don't go telling you about a theory that this particular program started in the history of X, Y, and Z. We get you to the practical part of it, so much so that in 6 months you are ready and capable to face the best and to get the best job out there. So that's what it makes KiawiTech different. And that's why you have to be committed, you have to be ready, and you have to encourage the instructors, because that's an objective that I have to make sure that you are successful. And then not only that, Lovis did say you build a community or you do build network. One of the things you do at KiawiTech IT Academy is that as a community member, you do have other things that you do on site. When you go through your training, you get your job, and then you build yourself as a member of that community. You can now bring in other aspects of your life or other skills that you have, and then you share, and probably that will make you even more money. So that's another thing we pride ourselves as far as KiawiTech is concerned, not just being a corporate institution, we are a community. So while through my training, one of the things I didn't realize until the instructors had to keep me on my feet was that, like you said, there are times I used to come back from my normal job, tired, just sit down in front of my computer, and probably before the instructor get into the practical part, I'm already dozing off and things like that. It was challenging, and it's going to be for most of us who be coming into the training. But you have to be ready. When you are on video, for example, the instructor will be able to detect. Sometimes that's what happened to me. I will quickly go offline and go on audio, and the instructor will easily understand that no, this person was active. And before I even went off on video, he was seeing the way I was behaving, and it's like, oh, come back. I need to follow up. And that's how you're being followed up and you're being assisted in the process. It's not until the end of the training that I noticed how much that impacted me. The instructors making sure that we are all on the same lane. I missed out on so much at the beginning because I was really not sure as to what I was going into. Then they started giving us classwork. Other students were catching up and then flowing with the process, but I was barely getting it. And then KiawiTech being what it is, they noticed that me and some other students in class were barely catching up on what was being done. And that is the highest place where, unfortunately, we do lose a lot of students who are unable to catch up, especially those who are not ready to push themselves beyond the line. So at that point, the instructors did notice that myself and a couple of others were still lacking behind. And being KiawiTech, they took us on some other catch-up classes which are not specific, which are not part of their contract, but because they want you to succeed. And that's the spirit with practically everybody in KiawiTech, be it the student service, be it the instructors, be it the mentors, be it alumni, everybody wants you to succeed. We pride ourselves in telling each other that I had this person introduced to KiawiTech. The person had these challenges. I was able to assist him, and today that person is succeeding, and that person is sitting on a six-figure seat. Maybe he used to do funny jobs. Today he is somebody else and is helping himself and the family. So I had those challenges, and because of how KiawiTech does its things, you were able to push me beyond that line of doubt, and I succeeded, like Clovis explained. We do have other institutions which I went through. We are about like 500 of us in class. No video. The only person who is on video is the instructor. At the end of the day, if he's speaking and maybe say 2 or 3 persons are following, fine. You've paid your fees. Sometimes it's even cheaper than what KiawiTech offer. They don't care. Just get that. They will have like 500 persons. You are part of the training. They are just moving ahead. At the end of the day, whether or not you get a job, you don't have their contact and they don't care. So that is what makes KiawiTech different. And I want to say thank you, Clovis, again for coming to tell us from your own perspective. A lot of us do have different stories. And that is why, as we share, we do encourage people to come in, take the training, get the 6-figure job, and then make a difference in your life. So we also have Emilia Egute, who is joining us from Facebook. Want to say thank you for deciding to be part of us this evening or this afternoon, wherever you're watching, be it morning. You will not regret being part of this fire side chat. So thank you again, Glovis. I think we want to move into another aspect of this training that I'm guessing that a lot of us will want to understand. So, talk to us about getting a job, the process of you getting a job. How did you go through that after the training?
Oh, that is that's a tough one.
Absolutely.
You know, one thing with other training institutions, once they train you, they give you the information, they just send you off, they ship you off into the job market.
Yes.
So that's what, when I heard about KiawiTech, I thought that's what they do. But this
True.
person told me no, and he proved me wrong. So he said, KiawiTech, they will take you through the job search process. You know, they will even drill you. Even
Yeah.
when you have an interview, they will prep you for that interview. You know. Now, me personally, I had a mentor,
Mhm.
and my mentor actually worked with me. We looked at my resume. He told me,
Mhm.
hey, you know, take this out, add this, and do this,
Yes.
do this, do this. Yeah. So we worked on that, and we went through job search. He took out his time out of his busy schedule,
Yes.
you know, worked it out, and we searched for jobs. When I do have an interview, I'll call him, you
Mhm.
know, him and I will sit down, go over it, and I'll
Yes.
also talk to my classmates. We will go over that interview as well. Just
Mhm.
look at the job description, look at, just stuff about the job.
Yeah.
And then another thing again, KiawiTech also has a system that, that's something that is optional. It's if you
Yes.
want to. Yeah, yeah. So they also have a program that, if you want them to work with you in that aspect, they can definitely do that as well.
Yeah, I
Because,
just want to emphasize on that service that
yeah,
is a sister organization by name Opted. What we do there is we build your profile and we help market you because job searching is a bigger job on itself, like
yes,
I mentioned at the beginning. So
yeah,
we'll have time to maybe brief so much more on that so that others who are coming to KiawiTech will want to understand and
understand.
to know that we have all it takes for them to go through KiawiTech, succeed, and then get a job and get the necessary support in the
Yeah.
process.
And so the interview process for the job that I actually finally had, it was not really as hard as I thought it would be.
You see?
And that was because, I already gained that confidence by being on video at KiawiTech,
Mhm.
talking to people on video, on the
Mhm.
computer, so, it was more relaxed,
Mhm.
after having that talk at the interview. And I will tell you this one thing. Does it mean once you graduate, you will get your first job from your first interview? There is a chance that you will, and there's another chance that you will not, right? I'm gonna be frank. Yeah,
True.
I went through a few interviews. To be honest, my first job was not my first interview. I went through a few interviews because you can really get nervous. You can really get nervous, especially when you're talking to, people you've not seen before, and they are going to drill you on stuff that you've learned for the past few months, and just to test your know-how. And of course, my mentor, talked me down, gave me that confidence, told me, hey, my first interview, I messed up really bad, to be honest.
Which is part of the
Yeah,
process.
it's part of the process. You learn from your mistakes, right? So I talked about it with my mentor, and he told me where I went wrong. We kind of talked it out, and he showed me how to communicate next time. Sometimes you might have that information in your head, but you just don't know how to put it out.
True.
you know yeah. So they really helped me. They really helped me out. So yeah, and the job search experience, it was hard at first, but then, you know, after I got this final interview and that get landed me that job offer, man, I was like, woo, money, money, money.
I can imagine the relief. No,
Yeah.
yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah,
It
I
has to be
I
so.
quit my night shift job without even looking back.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow, wow.
And this is very, very relieving, you know. Give me
Thank
time
you.
to spend with my family,
You see.
you know. Yeah.
Mm.
And
Good. Thank you so much, Clovis. I think if we have the whole day to ourselves, we want to expatiate as much as possible on that particular aspect because we do have a lot to share, and that's something that so many persons out there want to understand even more before getting into this field. Want to say a big shout out to Vandy, who is also watching us on YouTube. That's our communication director, who is making sure that we have all the necessary platforms and all the necessary schedules to make sure that we communicate what we do at KiawiTech and encourage and interact with the world to make sure that KiawiTech gives out the best and also takes in the best. So
absolutely.
thank you so much, Vandy, for joining us on YouTube. So I think before we move ahead or try to close up for the day, there is one thing I guess from the beginning we haven't shared with our listeners or those who are going to listen to us is what is all can we take all about? What are they in training us or what specializations is KiawiTech focusing? We are at KiawiTech IT Academy. We are all about managing data. We just manage data. There is no mathematics involved, there's no physics, there's no chemistry, and
No
all of those
programming,
things. No programming, please. That's why we keep saying at KiawiTech, we are not teaching you rocket science. All we teach you is to click, 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 click. Most of us today watching this program or being part of today's chat, we are all database administrator by what we already do. You have a phone, you have a group of persons for this particular specialty. You have another group of persons, you belong to this group that does this. So you're able to manage between this group, making sure that that group is updated, especially if you're maybe say the group admin also, you make sure that that group is updated, you make sure that that group is secure. Nobody comes into that group who is not supposed to. If you notice that there are scammers coming into that group, you might want to switch from maybe everybody being able to comment on a group to just admin. So those are some of the things you'll be doing. Data is one of the biggest oil in the world or biggest commodity in the world. A bank will prefer for you to steal their cash than to steal their data. And that's why you always hear that one of the biggest scammers in the world stole the database of a particular institution and were asking for ransom. Those persons, if it was just about paying those ransom, they'll probably say, go with those data. We can sit back and then build another one. No, it takes time for you to build data. And that is why we train specialists to go out there, manage that data, protect it, make sure that those who need it have access to it. Those who do not need it do not have access to it. That's just it's available where it's supposed to be available, when it's supposed to be available. So that is all it takes. So you will hear others say we are on-prem. So those ones will be those with little or resources that are operating at a certain level. You will hear other persons say the cloud when you are into Azure or AWS. Those are persons that they are systems in the background that manages to a certain level, and you sit down and then you manage to that level for them to take off from there. So it's all about data management. You hear about cyber security. It's all about protecting the processes through which those data are being moved from where they are produced to where they are being consumed. So it's all about data management, protection, provision, and all of that. So that is what when you come in, it's all about how to click on the left to make sure that this one is okay, to click on the right, to click to update, to click to delete if when necessary, and so on. So That is all we'll teach you at KiawiTech. So I also wanted to emphasize on something. Or before emphasizing, I want to say shout out to Annie Lobanson. Apologies for the mispronunciation. He's saying, "Good to see you, Clovis." I guess you can see that.
Yes,
So
I can
thank you
see you
guys
too.
so much for joining and then being part of this chat. That's what makes KiawiTech exciting, and especially when you trust in us, you trust in the process, you commit yourself. We are sure to take you successfully to that position of six figures that you were aiming at. So, Lovis, while we are trying to run up for today's discussion, if there was something, oh, I guess there's somebody to vice president and director from Europe and Africa, Mr. Zebedi Kiawi, is also saying hi, Glovis, and congratulating you for coming this far.
Thank
And
you.
I want to say thank you, sir, for your contribution, for your consistent follow up that's making KiawiTech the way it is today and being that successful. So, guys, this is what KiawiTech is all about. So, Glovis, I wanted to ask you from the depth of your heart, if you're being asked, how will you, or how do I, let me put it this way, if you had to just sum up your experience at KiawiTech in one word, what would that be? And if possible, why? Maybe briefly,
In one word,
to encourage somebody who is looking at us today or who will listen to us and will decide to join KiawiTech IT Academy.
in one word, I would describe KiawiTech as family,
Thank you.
family, and I'll tell you why. You know, there is nobody
Yes,
that can love and care for you more than your family.
true.
There may be a few friends out there that can do so, right? But
Yes,
your family is the only community that can take care of you, do stuff for you without asking for anything in return, right?
yes,
Selflessly. Um, Being at KiawiTech, it really opened my mind to so many things in life and about belonging to a community.
true.
First I used to be this closed guy that,
Yeah,
yeah, but then KiawiTech made me understand that, it's good to network. It's good to care for people. It's good to have
true.
people that care for you. And I trusted them that they would take me through the training to the end.
Thank you.
And that's exactly what they did. And I'm urging each and every one of you to do the same because it's really worth it. Is it easy? No. Is it
Thank
worth
you.
it? Yes. It's very much
Thank
worth
you.
it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lovis. We really appreciate your time. This Sunday, you could have been out there, maybe just having a good time with your family, because, like you said, KiawiTech has that spirit of family, that community that they are building. And there's one person we always appreciate for having started this crusade. He calls it crusade. The CEO of KiawiTech IT Academy, Dr. Dennis Kiawi. His selflessness is what has kept every other member of the community on their feet and committed to making sure that they are also selfless to helping others be part of that community and succeed. So I want to say thank you, Clovis. This is not a paid session. You
No.
just decided to volunteer and come and share and encourage others to come into the process. Because one of the biggest challenge we have today is lack of knowledge. Not everybody, there are others out there who can succeed and excel in this field even more than those of us who are already in there. but you do not have that knowledge, because some persons are not ready and are not selfless enough to go out there and share that great knowledge. We are not selling what you people will say, you come, you bring one person, the other person. No, we are here. When you do your training, you get your job, you go out there, and all we can say thank you and meet you again is through our community, for you to share, to volunteer, to assist, to be in any form. So we want to say thank you for being part of today's call and for committing to share, to encourage every other person who is hoping and believing to be part of KiawiTech IT Academy with zero or no IT background. And it has been a great session. We believe that we had enough to encourage somebody out there. We had enough to convince. We had enough to reassure those out there that they can trust in KiawiTech, trust in the process, commit themselves, and will take them to that expected end. So thank you so much, Clovis, and we do wish you a very great afternoon within you, your family, and all those watching online. I see Emilian was so proud of you. We are very proud of you as well. That's why you're part of us today. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining. And we want to say next time again, we'll have another session for you to share even more and to break down. Hopefully by then, you would have moved to another level that will even have more to get from you. So thank you so much, and do have a great evening, afternoon, wherever you are today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye. Bye. So hello everybody. Thank you again for being part of today's session. We had Clovis, who shared with us, gave us all that we needed to be part of KiawiTech and to succeed. We just want to remind you about our programs that at KiawiTech IT Academy we do offer Microsoft SQL Server Database Administration, which is starting on the 27th, which is starting on October the 4th, after our grand orientation on the 27th. We do have Azure starting on November 8th after our grand orientation as well. And then we do have AWS on the 4th, starting on the 4th as well after our grand orientation. And we do want to emphasize that during our grand orientation, our CEO will be able to elaborately present to us all about all the programs that we offer, the payment plans, flexibilities in schedule, interview preps, on-the-job support, zero IT background, which is what we have been talking about. He's going to get more into that in depth. And the last thing we want to remind also is that we are having our cybersecurity classes started on the 24th, which is next week. So please, for those who are still getting into the program, especially those getting into cybersecurity, just quickly get us through the contacts you're seeing on your screen, and we'll easily assist and then get you into our classes, and every other thing will flow well as from there. So thank you so much for those who were able to join us today. Thank you so much for those who are watching us online, Facebook, YouTube. Please, we plead on you to share this information with others. We plead on you to also be part of our social media platform and do all it takes for you to be part of KiawiTech IT Academy community, directly or indirectly. So thank you so much for today's session, and we hope to see you in our grand orientation and other sessions coming up during the week. So thank you again for joining us, and bye-bye.
KiawiTechIT Academy is all about empowerment, transformation, and education.
KiawiTechIT Academy is innovative.
KiawiTechIT Academy is empowering.